Coming in from Aced a Boss. And he wants to know, how do you best disguise coverage on defense? So, this is another great question, as all these questions that are submitted on This Week in Madden. Great question. What you want to take a look at when setting up your defense. So specifically, like his tail end kind of ideas and his other additional notes he gave about what he was trying to get his point across here is he was saying like how do you disguise like between your blitz versus like, you know, if you play a coverage defense. And that's a dilemma that a lot of us have, because you could set up a blitz and your blitz looks entirely different than your coverage setup. So my recommendation is to make everything always try and look the same. So in this example here, you know, we're trying to send pressure off this left edge. So here's the play, here's the setup, and boom, there's the pressure off that edge. Well, what if you want to disguise that into coverage but still make it look like you're sending pressure? Well, you want to leave it the same. And in this instance, like, my recommendation would be, if you want to fake pressure off the right edge, you always have to slide this linebacker out wide here so that they don't ever know, is pressure coming off of the left edge? Is pressure coming off the right edge? Like, where is the pressure coming from? So, for example, like, you could go something along the lines of like this, right? Where you go blitz Graham, move Kendricks here, and then do something like this, right? Put Kendricks in a zone, crash your line to the right, and then you get an instance where like, oh, pressure's screaming off the right edge as well as the left edge. So then they don't know where is pressure coming from. So you ultimately, your job is to make everything look the same, whether it's a blitz off the left edge, blitz off the right edge. So in this instance, like, let me go to cover 2. I do this quite a bit. You go to cover 2, and I would swing this defender over here, and then I blitz him. But pre-snap, like, you don't know. This looks exactly the same as our pressure where we were sending pressure off the left edge. But then what ends up happening is you run it, and then you get pressure off the right edge, and then your opponent isn't ready for it because you disguised it, and you go from there. The main thing you could do is simply use base align. Like, base align is your first weapon to disguise your coverage. Base align basically just freezes your defense. You use coverage audible and then right on the D-pad, and then that freezes your defense and prevents your opponent from really getting like a complete tell on what's actually happening out on the field.